Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our sixth instalment of the webinar series from the Geelong Chamber of Commerce. I welcome you all with us today. And again, we've had a huge registration and people are generally interested in the topics we're covering. So thank you so much for your support. My name's Flynn, and we're really proud today to be delivering innovation to succeed during COVID-19 as our webinar. We've got some great panelists today. We're missing one, but he shall be here soon, and it's worth the wait. We've got Brandon Burns from Runway. How are you, Brandon?
Yeah, good, Ben. Pleasure to be here, and hello, everyone.
We've got Melinda Clarke from City Maps. Welcome, Melinda.
Hi, everybody.
Sam Vogel from Provenance Wines. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
And our fifth guest today is Andy Pobjoy from the Piano Bar, and we'll soon welcome Andy. I'd like to say thank you to our corporate partners at the Geelong Chamber of Commerce, including Platinum Partner SC Technology, who are all so important in allowing us to do these things for you at the moment. We've had an exciting week at the Chamber. Just so you know, we've launched our free membership campaign. So anyone who needs help and access to additional resources during this time can sign up as a no obligation free member at the Chamber of Commerce until the 1st of September. So get involved in that and check out our socials if you're interested. As well as we're excited to yesterday have launched our first virtual After 5, now called Cloud Connect. So we're hoping to get quite a few people, based on our history, probably hundreds of people involved in a really quite a unique event next Thursday at 3 p.m. So please check out our socials. And if you're looking to reconnect with businesses, get involved. We're going to be doing some quite innovative functions, including breaking people out into groups so they can meet new people, connect with other members, learn how people are adapting and evolving during COVID, but also offer each other support. So that's going to be really exciting. So please get involved. I won't talk too much about us at the Chamber, but I just thought I'd throw them out there and let people know that we're welcoming you to the team in however way you see fit and whatever you need at the moment. Andy Pobjoy from Piano Bar, thank you for joining us. Are you there, Andy? I can't hear you at the moment, but thank you for joining us, Andy, and we'll get to you in a second. So, getting through it. Melinda, I'll start with you, and please just give us a bit of background on your business and how are you going at the moment?
Well, just briefly, we're illustrated makers. The primary product that we have produced is an illustrated map of Melbourne, but we're actually based in Geelong. We have a small little studio out opposite Boom Makers or Boom Gallery in a little shed called Boom Makers. So we're Geelong based, but our primary product at the moment is a Melbourne map. We've been marketing that for a year or so now. We are working on a Geelong map and also one of the Ballerine, but the product we have at the moment is of Melbourne. And yeah, this our business has had an enormous boost over this period, ironically, because I landed a 40-foot container of jigsaw puzzles about 2 days before shutdown. So yeah, it's been good for us. And a big learning curve in lots of ways for distribution and marketing and delivering those products and communicating with the people that we're selling to. And we're selling all around the world as well as all around Melbourne and country Victoria and the rest of Australia.
Fantastic. Now, Sam, you're out at Provenance Wines and there's a few string to your bows out there, including catering, winemaking. How are you adapting at the moment and how are you finding things?
Yeah, so it was a big shock to start with. I mean, really, in a week, with all the cancellations, there was just a lot of money that was wiped off our books in a week. And so I guess after the initial shock period, a few days, then we sort of got to work on identifying where, what revenue streams we could create. The most logical one was online sales. So we've been pushing that barrow pretty hard, and it's been very, very successful. So, I mean, I don't know whether we can keep it going at this rate. I like to think that we can. I mean, I guess we're in a good situation because I think it's safe to say that a lot of people are consuming our product. At least, you know, a lot of people are drinking wine. So we're just got to find ways to get it to them. And so initially we did a sort of a heartfelt letter out to our mailing list, and I think there's about 600 people, and we generated. We also gave a pretty sizable discount, thinking that we could give people a good discount, our sort of loyal supporters, a good discount so that they could drink our wine through COVID at a reasonable price. And we generated sort of 50% of our general annual online sales in a week.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really amazing.
Wow. And so you'd make the assessment people are drinking more wine during COVID?
I think that's safe to say.
And speaking of wine drinkers, Andy Pobjoy from the Piano Bar. Welcome, Andy.
Hello, how are we all? We're all good.
Are you coming from Ballarat?
No, we're still in Geelong. We're going to pack all this down, and we had the best of intentions of coming to you with the full multiple camera angles, all guns blazing nonsense today. But you know what? The technology, I just couldn't get my software to talk to Zoom. So that's what's going on.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, well, never mind. This has been the eternal struggle through this whole thing, is just trying to grapple with the new situation we find ourselves in and seeing an opportunity to live stream every night, and then just trying to get bibs and bobs together to make it look half decent. But yeah, so far so good. Been a fantastic response.
Now, Andy, is it true that you've got 20,000 Facebook followers and they're tuning in every night to hear you from all of your venues?
We've had just a huge upsurge in interactions and engagements and post views and likes, and just across the board, it's been a bonanza on socials for us. I mean, I've got Aaron, another one of the managing directors here at Piano Bar Group. He's got a few of the stats up.
Yeah, we've been really, really happy. You know, even just from a reach point of view, every post averages about 11,000 in reach. The highest hit at 43. But over the time that we've been going, and I think we're on day 33 now.
Yep.
We've reached over 280,000 people during that time. But what's been really, really great about it is the actual engagement in each of those streams. So every one of the stream averages about a 3,000 engagement rate. That's someone either liking, clicking, commenting, sharing, with many of the streams being well over 10,000 in engagements, and that's the Saturdays and the Sunday nights, which is really good. And as you know, which you spoke before, we've had over 4,200 direct new likes on the page, which has taken it over 20,000. And the great thing is we're just reaching people from all around the world that you know, that we wouldn't have been out of. And you know, the real positive is obviously that we're, you know, being able to pay performers that can come in on different times. But you know, it's also putting us complete front of mind for when things do go back to normal. People are going to want to come to Piano Bar for the party afterwards. That's where it kind of happens.
And I do want to discuss that. That's a terrific point, being front of mind and being relevant at the moment for the inevitable upsurge. And speaking of relevant people, Brandon Burns at Runway. Now, you guys have been following an online track for quite a while. I suppose this has probably given you a greater mandate for your products and services at the moment.
Yeah, totally. So, hey everyone, great to be on, and I'd probably expand upon what Aaron, Andy, and Sam mentioned about the engagement. It's particularly relevant for us because our client is a startup. So we have tenants and startups coming through our doors at Runway in North Geelong every day, and the first place to start with any business, as people watching would know already, is focus on your client and be engaging. And so we've really seen a lot of businesses take the opportunity to focus on that element. And I think it's one thing that's going to really steal those businesses post COVID-19. And we obviously 10 weeks ago launched in beta our pre-launch version of Runway Virtual, which is an online platform. to try and better connect people who are facing similar problems in business. And yeah, to answer your question, Ben, it has become more relevant, obviously, with our circumstances. And one thing we've noticed is it's given us the ability to do what we do in Geelong and Ballarat, in Queensland and in WA and in Tasmania. So it's really expanded our reach, which has been a good thing for us.
Yep. It's terrific. Reach and audience, it's true. It does really show us just how amazing the online platforms are for doing that. Melinda, I heard a rumour about you the other day, and and it was all good, I assure you, and fair for public consumption. But I heard that the day after ScoMo made the announcement that his wife had gone out and bought puzzles for the kids, your business shot through the roof. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct. Yeah, jigsaws are the new black, and they're an essential item in a COVID-19 shutdown. So thanks, ScoMo. But yeah, I'm sure that had something to do with it. It's in general, I can tell you that all game stores and online games and physical games and jigsaw puzzles, their sales have increased exponentially, and they're having sales that are higher than Christmas sales and every day. Although I was speaking to one of the major players this morning, and he said things have slowed down a little bit. But all stocks of jigsaws are depleted pretty much in the country. We were just lucky enough to have some. But just getting back to that engagement, it's been the same for me. I was hoping to sell these jigsaws over a year, but I've sold them in a month. I've got 8,000 new customers. I've also employed probably 7 or 8 people that would have been out of work for packaging, and made new connections with retailers. I support, smaller retailers all the time, so that they're benefiting from my promotion as well. I've increased my Facebook advertising because Facebook reach is getting more because there's less people advertising, and just overall it's a good opportunity to sort of connect with potential partners as well as your retailers. And I've also supplied to people like on the Ballerine that are putting together packs for Mother's Day, so there'll be a jigsaw in that pack. So it's a lovely opportunity to work with other businesses on the Ballerine, and sort of share the love, I suppose. Yeah.
And through this period of increased engagement, is it fair to say it's more around talking to your customers than actually making money with the new services at the moment? Is it about preparing for the future as opposed to right here and now? Would that be fair to say for you, Andy?
Absolutely. That's all we've got. We've gone from to 0% cash flow for the business because of the government restrictions. We cannot open the venue. And I mean, that would mean that we would just disappear from people's, so that's literally, it's forced us to think about what it is we do as a business. Are we just a bar? Well, we can't operate as a bar now. Are we a restaurant? What are we? Are we a meeting place for people? Yes, we can still do that. But basically what it's crystallized for us is the fact that we are a business that creates an experience. And so where can we create that experience when you can't get people to come to you? We have to go to them. So what it's doing, it's actually giving people a firmer concept of what it is we do and what we stand for. And in doing so, it's going to strengthen everything we do from here on. And also, the big pause has given us a moment to go through everything in the business and work out, we were astounded at how much stock we held. Oh my goodness. Insane. I mean, we look like some sort of bootleg booze operation in here. Because it's just insane how much we were holding. So, I mean, it has given us a bit of a shock in some ways. But in this sense, it's not just about engaging with our audience, but it's about keeping connected with our employees and contractors and entertainers. Now, quite a low percentage of our staff qualify for the JobKeeper payment. And that's disappointing for us because obviously, with 2 new venues having opened in the last 12 months, we don't have a lot of employees at either of those venues that have been in our employ for that period to qualify. So there's a lot of our staff that are very upset, obviously, and rattled by the fact that they don't have access to that payment when they may have been sort of come across from another hospitality venue where they had that. you know. So it's been disappointing for us. And of course, none of our performers and contractors qualify for this at all. And they are really the heart and soul and the backbone of this business. That's what, you know, we've relied on their talent, their skill, their endeavour, and their commitment to us to make Piano Bar what it is now. And for us to be able to, you know, provide, you know, through the online donations, at least something for people to, it's a lot of money, but I mean, it's something, gosh, you know, they've gone from earning really good money as performers to now potentially just being on a job seeker payment. And that's a big shock because, you know, it's, none of us saw this coming. So,
no.
But this is one way of showing that we still care about our team, you know, and our performers. And I know it's, you know, it's quite easy for us to come in here and just plug in and set up and play. I mean, it's the most natural thing that we do. So the other element of it also is keeping our spirits up so that, you know, as when the fog lifts, we're going to be in a really great headspace and just just frothing for it, you know.
Now, I'll just do a call out to our participants. Please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen if you want me to ask any of our panelists a question today. That's always great if you can send something through. Andy, I'll just ask you another question if you don't mind. More broadly across the entertainment industry, is there a lot of evolution occurring there and people are innovating?
No, there's a lot of people who are freezing, to be honest, just going into like shock mode because the normal outlets aren't there. And people are also struggling with these live casts because it takes a lot out of them. And also, I think they're not doing themselves a favour by not getting the quality of their live stream and their entertainment offering right to the audience. So one thing we did straight away was just we invested in it. So we did not skimp. We're not putting up little crappy smartphones and you know, we tried our hardest to make a really professional product that we can ship out every single night.
And it's been improving.
It's been getting better.
That, you know, we've been doing as well. So, you know, it's just making sure that the quality is such a huge thing. And we notice, like, if it's bad internet or something going wrong, the viewers just drop straight away. So you've got to have that right from the start.
Yeah. And so that's been a significant investment?
Well, it wasn't really looking at it now, and the return was maybe $5,000 or $6,000. But I mean, it's also taking the time to really ask questions. And we've got a great network of people that have helped us technically over the time. Geelong's amazing at helping fellow Geelong businesses. So we were able to put the shout out there. And I mean, we are not experts in this by any stretch of the imagination at all. But with a little bit of advice, but with a little bit of advice and a bit of help from people that have, and we managed to throw something together that's, quite good. It's the old adage. I mean, bad entertainment is better than no entertainment at all. I'm not saying, but if you're a venue that relies on that reputation of having good entertainment, don't put out a substandard thing on social media that people are going to go, I thought those guys were better than that, or do yourself justice. Work up to the reputation you've built, because a lot of people are craving this sort of thing, but if it's good quality, they'll tune in every night, and that's what we've seen.
Yep. I like that you touched on the Geelong story. Brandon from Runway, do you believe Geelong's in a great place to sort of seize the opportunities as a result of this disruption and grow and thrive from this?
Yeah, of course. So there's a lot of news coming out around working from home is not always workable, and we're all getting to experience that firsthand. But the concept of work from hub is becoming extremely attractive. And Geelong as a city, as you know, is regional, but it's close enough to a dense, large city like Melbourne, where people can live and commute for work. So we're anticipating there'll be a huge demand now that businesses have understood that employees can be autonomous and work remotely, that they'll want to work at facilities like ours. So we've got a co-working space, obviously, in Geelong at a Runway, and there's plenty of others that exist around the city. And there's probably businesses within Geelong that haven't explored introducing this as an element of their business. And we're expecting that it'll become more and more popular, because some people will be saving 3 hours a day on their trip, travelling to Melbourne, being able to work remotely. But obviously by being able to go to a facility like ours, I don't have to be distracted by the kids and family and do it within their home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we discussed commercial property with Michael DiStefano in our last webinar, and that's certainly a space to watch, because that's going to be affected in some way by people changing up the way they work. Very good. Now, Sam, listening to all of our panelists today and so on, do you believe that people taking an integrated approach, my point being not just face-to-face, but having really strong engagement online, is the way of the future?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I mean, the way that pre-COVID, the way that we used to communicate was really just sending some emails out to our mailing list about events, a seasonal wine pack, something like that. We've never really done like a proper call to arms, I guess. And, with the success of that, just that one email, it shows that there is a real appetite out there if you get the product and the price right, that people will take it up. And certainly, beyond COVID, we'll be focusing on increasing the size of that mailing list and finding new and more improved ways of engaging with them and trying to, I guess, extend our Provenance family.
A question from one of our participants is, how do you see yourself preparing for managing or acquiring a casualised workforce at the end of the disruption?
Yeah, that's a concern, because I think it depends on what form we come back at. I mean, I tend to think that our business will be one of the last ones to come back, and that, I mean, our venue is a little bit different than others in that it's a massive space. So, if they bring back that sort of 4 square metre rule, then we'll still have people, but then what the appetite of people will be to come out, I think it's so uncertain. But I mean, our workforce, we managed to keep some people on JobKeeper who were casuals. So I suspect that because there'll be a downturn in the amount of staff that we require to start with, we'll just have to slowly build it up again, because there's a lot of people who have moved on doing other things now because they have to.
Yeah. Andy, before we run out of time, do you have a song for us today? Is that your plan?
Oh, absolutely. What would you like to hear?
Wow, I hadn't considered that.
I made the cities that never close down. From New York to Rio and all London town. But no matter how far or how far COVID-19 grows, I still call Geelong and the Bellarine home.
Lovely.
Yes.
Well done. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Sure, there's lots of people in our audience.
Get some song requests on the Q&A. That'll be all right.
Well, I'll just have a quick look. Is Andy available for saxophone lessons? That's an important question.
Oh, yeah. We could Skype in. You know what they say? Bad sax is better than no sax at all.
And I'll on that note, I'll get back to something more serious. I'll direct the same casualised question to you, Andy. How will there be a fight for good staff once we start coming out of this disrupted period?
Yes, yeah, we'll be.
Yeah, well, I think that we're in a good position though as well. We have been able to retain some casual staff through the JobKeeper. A few have left to go on to other things, but we have really made great effort to stay engaged with our workforce as well, and particularly helping out those that may be in need a little bit more. They're waiting for Centrelink payments, so we've used the donations to kind of channel to those people that need that kind of bridge before the Centrelink payment comes through. So we think we've got a really engaged workforce, but it really also goes back to the point of what does it look like when we come back. For us, we would really like not some type of definite date, because I know no one can give us that, but a roadmap of what that would look like. Okay, yes, when it does get to this amount, it would look like you would be coming to the 1 per 4 square metre rule, or it'd be half of the license. At least if we just had an idea of this could be the way it is going to be, we could start planning for that now, rather than just, kind of coming out completely blind, not knowing how it's going to flick on at the time that it does flick on.
Because we work to a formula here very much so with the way that we seat people and the number of guests that we allow in and all that sort of stuff to create an atmosphere to you make it a fun night out. The 4 square metre thing was an abject failure for it was just so up and down. It was, and the vibe in here was awful, and you could just see the fear in people's eyes about if don't get too close to me or, and people can't have a good time when they're worried about all that.
We actually made the decision to close on that Sunday prior
to the announcement,
to it being forced upon us, because we're like, we're complying with the 1 person per square meter, but by 11 o'clock, all of those people are standing around the piano. There's no,
you can't stop that. So this is the thing, and we want our product to look and feel the same when we come back. And that's where just some sort of certainty or something that we can work towards, and I know that's where the Chamber can come in and be a voice for businesses like ours and for like Sam's as well. We need that roadmap. We don't need definite times, but we just need to wrap our head around what is our product going to look like and how are we going to adapt and change.
Yeah.
We don't know where the goalposts are at the moment. And it's the same. We're talking very specifically to our circumstances, obviously, here, but I know that there are so many other businesses that are operating within these sort of restrictions and the restrictions on public gatherings, whether it's the festival circuit, whether it's the cruise industry. I still do 12 to 15 cruises a year. That's all been put on hold for me at the moment too.
Probably
Indefinitely. The festival circuit, we'd signed a deal to bring Piano Bar to the Great Australian Beer Spectacular. It's 5 shows in Melbourne, 3 in Sydney, 2 in Brisbane, 1 in Auckland. That contract's torn up at the moment. I mean, this has cost our business and other businesses so much, but what we need is a roadmap. Not definite times, just a roadmap.
Melinda, we've talked a lot today about using content marketing to drive engagement with people's customers. And I know no doubt you're doing some of that as well, but you did touch on the fact that you are doing some paid advertising. Is that working well for you at the moment?
It is, because I'm getting out to the people that I need to reach to let them know that my product exists. So, we ramped up. I've spent more on advertising than I have in the past because I saw it as an opportunity. And I just think overall, there will be challenges ahead for each one of our businesses, no matter what realm we're in. And I think if we've had the resilience to adjust and change and I guess, our best efforts, but resilience is really going to be the key to it's long term. So we don't even know what's ahead and we don't know what those challenges are. We just have to trust in ourselves, I suppose, that we can adapt and bring along those people that need us along the way. That's sort of generally what the whole thing is about. Some of us are lucky we had products, some of us aren't, and some of us have made the best that we can. And I was in theatre before I was in map making, and I just feel for all my colleagues in theatre and film and television who have just been completely left by the wayside and that are really struggling.
Yep. And Brandon, you obviously do a lot of work with small businesses out there. Do you have any services that you need to make them aware of at the moment?
Oh, the best thing for people to do is head to runwayvirtual.co. And one thing I would say is during these times we're noticing with our startups and businesses that this is a time where great talent can become available purely through timing. So if as a business you do have yourself in a good position like Aaron and Andy mentioned, and you have the capacity to find and bring on really good talent that otherwise probably wouldn't be available given the circumstances, now can actually be a really good time to act upon that. And so that's just something not to be missed, and a bit of optimism to come out of a time like this.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'd like to thank all of our participants, and I really encourage everyone just to stay connected. I think that's the worst thing you can do at the moment is not being involved, losing your sense of passion and energy, and that's what makes us really tick. So thank you for joining us. Andy Pobjoy, don't go. I'm going to ask you one last request, but thank you for joining us, Andy Pobjoy from the Piano Bar.
And Aaron Skinner as well. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks,
and Melinda Clarke from City Maps. Thank you, Melinda.
You're welcome.
Sam Vogel from Provenance Wines. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Ben.
And of course, Brandon Burns from Runway. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Ben.
Now, my last request from the Q&A panel, Andy, is for the Cats theme song.
Oh, come on. We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played. That's home off far away. How about us flying high from dawn to dark down at GMHBA Stadium.
Well done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And have a great day.
Cheerio.
Cheers.
Everyone.
Bye.